The Chinese Academy of Tropical Agricultural Sciences revealed that South China's island province of Hainan exported cocoa beans to Belgium for the first time. Researchers at the institute is on record to have stated that cocoa is a raw material for making chocolate and that with the increasing demand for chocolate, China is expanding its cocoa planting and making breakthroughs in technological development. While Ghanaian citizens have been expressing fears about the threat China poses to leading cocoa producers like Ghana, the Ghana Cocoa Board has also admitted that China's recent export of cocoa raises some concerns for the future of the sector in Ghana.
As it stands now, there's nothing really substantial that has been done by the Chinese, for which reason we should start panicking. We say so because the total production, as has been reported, is about less than 8 bags of cocoa, and less than 8 bags is not that substantial. However, it's an indication of what can be done by the Chinese, and that indication is what we need to assess, and based on that say that, okay, looking at how cost efficient that system will be, then we can come to that conclusion that the Chinese are in for business, or it doesn't make business sense for them to get into cocoa production. If you do the analysis, Ghana and other cocoa producing countries fall within a certain geographical location, which is 10 degrees south or 10 degrees north of the equator, where we find ourselves at the middle of it. There are those who are also within. You require a certain temperature between, say, 18 to 32 degrees Celsius with a certain rainfall pattern measuring about 1,500, 1,200 annually. That will help you. China does not find itself within that category.
I mean, God actually distributed natural resources across. It is not an exclusive right of anybody when it comes to natural resources. Nigeria has been producing crude oil for a very long time. We came in, we also discovered crude oil. I don't think Nigeria was that worried about it. So, of course, they have discovered it's cocoa. They are also going to produce and compete. What then it means is that the competition within that sector is going to increase. There's going to be more production going forward. But then what we can do is to try to cut a niche for ourselves that will make the trick. In terms of how we are producing our cocoa, the quality of cocoa, and then the pricing. If you are able to do that, no matter the amount that Chinese people do, you always have the market, the competitive edge, the market advantage.
The quantum of cocoa produced so far may be insignificant. However, if the Chinese succeed with their motivation, what could be the economic implications for Ghana and other producers?
The possibilities at this point, we can only weigh them. As to whether that will be the situation, I think it is too early for us to start passing judgment. But of course, like I said, the reason why this gives us a cause to be worried, or to be concerned, I should say, is the fact that if all things being equal, China is going to go into production and consumption is not going to increase, and we are all going to rely on the existing markets as it's been, instead of tapping into emerging markets, then it will have a way of impacting on the price, and that effect will be on our farmers, because if the prices at the world markets are not good, definitely our farmers will be worse off. So the issue has to do with would the possible production levels affect the markets, and that is where our worry is. But you see, there's one thing we also need to pay attention to. There are those who have suggested that, okay, if you consider, for example, how they dry their cocoa, that is a reason for us to be worried. Maybe for lack of understanding, people will pass that judgment. It is also better for us to also bring modernity and mechanization into how we do our things. But then the expert will also tell you that how we manage our cocoa, the fermentation period, how we dry them, the sun drying, all those things we do, has a way of impacting on the flavor that is derived from the cocoa. And from that flavor, we are able to earn more than other countries.
Not really invested in modernization of cocoa production, and I think it affords us the opportunity to look more into the entire value chain of cocoa production, how to modernize it, how to introduce vintage capital technology in the entire production process, and that is what Chinese is bringing on board. So they're actually going to force us to begin to do things in a way that will make us to be able to compete. So I think our mind now, our focus should be set on how are we going to be able to compete. Competing in terms of production, in terms of the know-how, in terms of the supply, chain, in terms of pricing.
Globally, Ghana is the second largest producer of cocoa, with China entering the market with its first batch of cocoa export to Belgium. It is obvious they are in to compete. But beyond the possible threat, are there any opportunities in this for Ghana?
Chocolate manufacturers who, despite the fact that they have access to Ivorian beans, that from Asia, that from America, still prefer the Ghanaian cocoa to blend with what they procure from other countries, because the Ghanaian cocoa has a special flavor which others do not have. It doesn't mean that because we have a special flavor, we should go to sleep and think that nothing could happen. But it's an indication to you that, yes, they have their own issues to deal with. We have our own specialty. We are not sleeping. We are looking at the various scenarios, and based on which the real actions which will help us, we shall take them.
Shouldn't worry at all that they have also come on board supplying cocoa. For all natural resources, that is how it has been. One country will discover over time, many more people will discover the same resource. What matters is what your ability to maintain your market share by way of ever improving on your quality, on your supply, the reliability of your supply, and then the bulkiness of your supply that your off-takers and the market can always rely on. Because once the market associate themselves with you, it is difficult for anyone to come and actually dislocate you. It will only come if you slack, if you don't continually research and innovate, then any newcomer would overtake you. So we need to really strengthen our R&D, research and development unit of Ghana Cocoa Board to continually come out with innovative way of producing cocoa, ensuring that the yield quality is of international standards, ensuring that we have competitiveness in pricing and in delivery.